The Joule 2 is a manual belay device with assisted braking for single ropes from 8.9 to 11 mm diameter. Opposed to semi-automatic belay devices, the Joule 2 is a so-called auto tube. This means that due to the geometry of the device, the braking force of the belayer is enhanced so that it's possible to hold falls with very little hand force. This way, the safety margin during belaying is increased significantly. When under tension, the rope is jammed in between the carabiner and the body of the Joule 2. This creates a large intrinsic braking force of the device. Nevertheless, the braking hand has to stay on the braking rope at all times. In order to release the rope, the device has to be tilted or lifted upwards slightly by using the thumb of the braking hand in the thumb loop of the device. The rope has to be inserted according to the figures shown on the device. The nose of the device shows to the front, away from the body, and the braking rope runs over the nose of the Joule 2. The Joule 2 works best in combination with the EDELRID bruised steel carabiner, as the geometry of the two items are matched perfectly together. As the working principle is of geometric nature, that means there is no mechanics or moving parts around, the combination of rope, carabiner and belay device is very important. Depending on which rope or carabiner is used, the braking force of the belay device may differ slightly. There are two methods for paying out rope to a leader. The first one is the so-called tuber method, the other the thumb method. We recommend using the thumb method as it's easier to learn. The thumb of the braking hand has to be inserted into the thumb loop of the device. By lifting up the device, the hand on the lead rope can pull out the rope. During this procedure, the braking hand needs to be closed on the braking rope. Using the tuber method is exactly the same as belaying with the tuber. With the braking hand, you feed the rope into the device, and with the hand on the lead rope, you pull the rope out. Depending on the condition of the rope, this may be a bit tricky with the Joule 2. Therefore, we do recommend to use the thumb method, especially for beginners. During times when there is no rope paid out or pulled in, the braking hand should stay out of the thumb loop in a so-called rest position. For lowering your partner, the best way is to take both hands on the braking rope. With the one hand, the Joule 2 is unlocked by lifting up the thumb loop, and with the second hand you can feed the rope into the device in a controlled manner. The Joule 2 is a great belay device which increases safety during climbing because of the assisted braking. Also, it is basically indestructible because of the steel construction of the body.
The Revo is Wild Country's first bidirectional assisted locking belay device suitable for trad climbing, sport climbing, as well as indoor climbing. Safety was at the heart of the design process for the Revo. We wanted to create a device that was so simple and intuitive that anyone from an experienced climber to a complete novice could pick up the device and belay safely and smoothly.
The Revo can be easily loaded from either side. Simply push the lever to open the device and loop the rope around the wheel of the Revo. Then close the device. You will hear an obvious click when the device is closed correctly. To check the device is loaded correctly, both ends of the rope should feed from the top of the device and the Revo should be firmly closed with the clipping point aligned at the rear. Then simply clip a screw gate carabiner to the belay loop of your harness, attach the Revo and you're ready to belay. Before your partner sets off climbing, you will need to do a quick pre-climb test. Simply yank the lead rope and the Revo will activate. To reset the mechanism, simply pull the rope against the stainless steel grooves and you're ready to go. Before your partner sets off climbing, check their harness and check their knot. Have them check that you've loaded the Revo correctly. The Revo wheel makes controlling the rope feel smoother and unlike any other belay device, allowing rope to be paid out quickly and easily so your lead can take rope when they need it. The Revo accommodates a wide range of rope diameters, so it can be used on your session rope or on your red point attempt. The Revo encourages good belay practice in keeping a hand on the break end of the rope at all times. If you pay out slack too quickly, the Revo will activate. To reset the mechanism, simply pull the rope against the stainless steel grooves and you're ready to go. The Revo is an ideal device for supporting beginners to develop good belay technique with the safety backup of the inertia reel assisted locking mechanism. Simply treat the Revo like a normal belay device and remain attentive to the lead climber. In the event of a fall, adopt standard belay best practice by gripping the break end of the rope and pulling it down towards your body. This is the primary way in which the Revo should be used. It will act like a normal belay device and its mechanism will not activate. It is important to note that the inertia reel assisted locking mechanism is designed as a backup system. If there is slack in the system and the rope runs through the Revo quicker than 4 meters per second, then the mechanism will activate. As soon as your lead is safe and ready to resume climbing, Pull on the break end of the rope to return the Revo to its home position and continue belaying. Should the lead climber want to rest on the rope, ensure that you keep one or both hands on the break end of the rope at all times. The Revo allows for smooth and safe control when lowering a climber, with the added reassurance of the inertia reel assisted brake. Lower the climber with both hands on the break end of the rope in a continuous smooth motion. If you lower your climber at speeds greater than 4 meters per second, then the device will engage, so aim for a slow and smooth descent.
This is my standard tuber, and this is my assisted braking tuber. Looks like the same piece of kit, because it is. Hi, I'm Phil, I'm the product manager at EDELRID. The key to combining two types of belay devices into one is this slider in the middle. It allows me to change between assisted braking mode and manual braking mode. For this purpose, the device has two different braking geometries. On one side is the assisted braking geometry, while on the other side is the standard manual braking geometry. I can use the slider to divide the space for the rope in such a way that I can either belay in assisted braking mode or in manual braking mode. The assisted braking mode allows me to hold the climber with minimal hand braking force, because the rope gets jammed in the device. The thumb rest on one side helps me to tilt the device to give slack or to lower the climber. If I switch to the manual braking mode, I need more hand braking force to catch a fall. But I do have the benefit of being a bit more fluid when paying out the rope, which is an advantage especially in alpine climbing, when belaying or when upsiding. The hybrid construction of the device combines the advantages of aluminium and steel. The basic structure is made from aluminium to save as much weight as possible, whereas the parts most stressed by the rope are made from steel to ensure a maximum lifespan of the belay device. All this makes the GigaJule the most compact and versatile belay device on your climbing harness.
I'm Ethan Pringle. I'm a professional rock climber and I'm a TRANGO athlete. We're here in Eldo doing some cragging and testing out the Virgo. It's an exceptional belay device and I'm really into it. I like using the Virgo because it's very ergonomic and intuitive, and it's a very safe belay device.
I'm Delaney Miller. I'm a professional rock climber, and I'm really psyched to be out here climbing and not in class right now. We're out here to tell you guys about the Virgo. It's a really sick new device. It's super simple to use.
I'm psyched to use the Virgo because it just has a really nice feel. It doesn't feel forced. The motions of it don't feel forced. And it's really easy to feed slack. It's a natural motion. And that's a huge difference from other belay devices. Because with other belay devices, people's natural instinct is to override the camming mechanism and use it improperly. If you use the Virgo the right way, you never have to override it. So it feels really safe to use. And I feel comfortable having someone who's just learning how to use it belay me with it.
Something that I really like about it is most of the partners that I belay typically are bigger than me. So I don't like to have a lot of slack out. Something that I noticed immediately about the Virgo is that it's really easy for me to yard out a bunch of rope quickly whenever I need to. Fits so nicely in my hand. It's got like a perfect little thumb spot that your thumb just naturally goes to whenever you need to feed out slack. And whenever you're lowering, there's also another little thumb catch on the handle. So all these nice little features just all around make it really simple to use.
One really good thing about it is that it captures all the slack if you're belaying someone on a multi-pitch, especially if you're set up with a guide belay. It captures the slack really nicely and evenly. Delaney's only done one multi-pitch before, and it wasn't like a multi-pitch trad route, so we're gonna do a really sweet one.
Climbing the Wisdom was super fun. Kind of struggled a little bit I'm gonna blame it on the cold, but I had a great time. So the pitch I led was super fun. It was super juggy. I got to throw like a heel hook the whole way, which is like the best thing ever. I love heel hooks. So I've been using other belay devices for the past 8 years now. I just switched to using the Virgo and I'm already 100% sold on it. It's a great device.
The most natural way to use it is also the safest way and the correct way. It doesn't feel like TRANGO designed a product. It feels like they designed a smooth user experience.